I can reiterate, you just heard from my comrades. I don't see nothing good about this night, the day, the week, the month, or this year. Until the 2nd of September, when we saw the PPP box. How many of you, if I can deviate a little, to the Vice President, Dr. Barry Jagdeo, if he deserved doctor, any one of you believe he deserved doctor in front of his name? How many of you know when Dr. Barry Jagdeo, I learned not to look at the weaknesses only? How many of you know when Dr. Barry Jagdeo is telling lies or is speaking the truth? I overheard persons saying that he is a pathological liar. But persons don't lie all the time. When Dr. Barry Jagdeo said that he saw the Mohammeds going into the embassy of Venezuela, I believe it, because America is who told us first that they know about the transition, they know about the transshipment on all the illegal business coming from Venezuela, all the smuggling of the gold, and evidence is clear there, people. Dr. Barry Jagdeo don't lie all the time. He speaks the truth. He said anybody contesting these elections subjected to scrutiny. And some of our scholars break it down fine for us. And it is evident. Before I get there, I promised myself to introduce myself better, but unfortunately, I raced away there a little. What I should have done first is to let you know the APNU have good news for you and bad news also. We were expecting some of the main speaker did not come because of victimization and overload, work overload. We have about 4 to 5 rallies going on across the country, going along across the country. I'm exhausted. Since morning I'm on my feet, Mahdia. So, Dr. Barry Jagdeo, this man do not lie all the time. He said any party contesting the elections can expect subject to scrutiny, meaning that harassment, when our scholars break it down for us. Mahdia, I believe I owe you. That's why I'm a proud member. I decided to make a step forward to be a proud member of the People's National Congress Reform. I'm not in my best shape here now. For some reason, as I tell you, I'm outside here since morning, even with day clean. But I'll try to say something, crack out a few words, and let the other speaker come. But Barry Jagdeo and the president, Dr. Enfanali, those men doesn't have value for us, Mahdia. Those men doesn't have value for us. With an APNU government, Mahdia, we can expect, well, the leader would tell you exactly about his plans. When he come, just a few. This is not rendition, it's not a joke. But before we cry, it's better you laugh. We've been crying for the longest while for Adriana Young, those in Linden, the secondary school dorms. There's so many things happening day after day in our country. Guns, road fatalities, and so on, among other things. First time on the podium here, open air. No good until we see the back of the PPP. Mahdia, we voted resoundingly on the 1st of September. When we see the back of the PPP the 2nd, you can rest assured Your children, your grandmother, grandfather will be in good hands. We ain't greedy for money. These people ain't fighting the devil all the time and they don't even know. It makes sense you grieve, you're craving for money and you're only living up to 60 and 70 years. Poor people living up to 60 and 190 and all these things. We getting all the loving just like them. You understand? It make no sense we going desperately behind money. But for you to be a member of the PPP, you have to get belly more than an elephant. What I observed with the PPP, and I was reliably informed, Mahdia, the amount of insult. If you cannot touch your genital or your rectum, you cannot be a member of the PPP. I was reliably informed. It is evident that the Guyana police force is politicized. Look at what took place in Northwest. Police officers with PPP red cup and red jerseys when they're supposed to be our keepers. Look, Mahdia, those who born in the 70s and beyond would know. They had an incident here in Guyana where a gentleman was in prison and he asked for his mother to visit him. And when she went to the prison, he said, "Mommy, come, put your ears at this cage." And he bite her. This government is we put them there. And if we don't flag this government on the 1st of September, we would have to go through this for 5 more years, Mahdia. You cannot spoil the rod. You cannot spoil the rod. Spare the child and spoil the rod. We need to flag the PPP on the 1st of September. Big people, we have to teach all over again. I don't see no reason for Dr. Barajagio treat us like this. It's a direct attack on poor people. When Dr. Barajagio and the Mohammeds were good friends, Azadeen never had no intention. I don't have nothing personally against Azadeen Infanali Barajagio, but I'm concerned. I'm a citizen. I never crossed this border. 20 or 30 something years I working already. I never sell front to a bamboo, nothing. I value my people. And it's a collective. It's a collective. We cannot depend on America alone to solve our problem, Mahdia. If it wasn't for America, Azadeen would have never knew that he needed to be the president of this country. The Win Party, it's a fake party. It doesn't have poor people at heart, Mahdia. What I'm saying, if Azadeen had the passion for us, he would have done so when everything was blooming nice. Nobody, when Barajagio, when David Granger was considering to give us $1 million, the same gentleman, Dr. Barajagio, opposed it. I was reliably informed. He said if Guyanese get money, they won't return to work. Any one of you can recall or remember that? Now this billionaire gentleman, relatively young man, he chooses to become a public servant when, according to critics, one of his own, he valued $44 billion. Anybody in the right senses would want to be a public servant with $44 billion in works? Which one of you would want to be a public servant and then bluffing us that he don't need his salary? Look at the advantage taken on us, Mahdia. It's overwhelming. I am disgusted. This government doesn't have value for poor people, Mahdia. I am here as a baby. I came to Mahdia and my nickname, most of you know me, Baby Poknako. All right? And I have some declaration. I've been following the rules all the years in Mahdia. I have some declaration at the Guyana Gold Board where I could take my documents to courts, any one of those places who requested documentation for transaction. And this government decided days before the elections to share out dredge engines, small dredge engines. I'm a poor man here. Every one of you knows that. All these big established businessmen saying, whoa, we never see you driving or riding. I'm not excited to drive and ride reasonably. I don't have a driver's license and I'm prepared to buy one. I am following the laws of this country, try my best. I never had a conviction. This government decided to give the friends, family, and favorites all these small dredge engines. Outside here, I can speak for Central Mahdia. Persons who own businesses who are not into mining was the recipient of these dredge engines. I am hurt, Mahdia. And I'm asking you on the 1st of September, if nobody else in the APNU, please and thank you, please put your X at the palm for baby Poknako so that we all can see the glory of this country and be the real beneficiary. Mahdia, poor people need to work together. We're more than these billionaires. Billionaires doesn't have no value for us. They took our children. Look, it's right before you, man. Don't play like y'all and see what's going on. 1 millionaire want 3, 4 women, you want more than that and all them kind of things. Poor people don't get them opportunity to get more than that and 2 sisters and all them things. They're rich, man. We need to put an end to this. Local government minister Dharam Lal, he was responsible for the secondary school. Up to now, the secondary school dormitory. And nobody don't own these things. When we ask the government if they have any knowledge about the word police here on our police vehicle, Dr. Barry Jagdeo said he knows nothing about it. When the journalists come to Guyana, Dr. Barry Jagdeo said he cannot comment on anonymous persons. So the journalist said, we're going to go to specific persons. What is the relationship with you and Susie Wong? I just know when Barry Jagdeo lying. He don't lie all the time. He do not lie all the time. The journalists receive a reward for that. Mahdia, poor people need to mobilize despite of ethnicity. This is hitting the sky. When we look at these offenses, the gravity of these offenses these billionaires committing, and not one day behind bars. Not one day behind bars. All those who have smartphones and internet would see this is just a reminder. Please let us look at current affairs. It's just a few days from the elections. It's already late already to get back to current affairs and all of this. We need to see the back of the PPP on the 2nd of September, Mahdia. We cannot afford, we have the best lineup in this country. All the PhDs, the doctorates, and the masters is with the APNU. The APNU is not like the other parties who talking about multi-ethnic party. We will have, if elected, the first indigenous person holding the second highest office in Guyana's history. We have the vice president, relatively young man, Ganesh Maipal, 35 years of age. It's a very relatively young team we have to contest these elections. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Dexter Todd said that when he visited the prison, persons inside there, when Adriana Young was murdered, they pick up persons all across this country who was wondering because of curiosity, they went into the crowd and they cry uncontrollably. Jail is not a nice place, comrades. And the PPP plan is to have us in prison, take advantage on our mothers, our sisters, and our daughters. It is evident that the PPP securing generation wealth off of the back of the ordinary citizen of this country. Junior Bosch, they have persons outside here who knew Junior Bosch since 1982. He grew here. And he speaks extensively about the corruption in this country with high-level officials. He spoke about number one. He spoke about number two. He spoke about the man who in charge of natural resources. And every day these people would give you a smile, but they don't mean it. You know, old people taught some of us. Not every laugh, not every skin teeth rather. Not every skin teeth. Not every skin teeth. So we need to be careful with those who we invite in our homes, in our lives, etc. Mahdia need a complete overhaul. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot even dine outside nowhere. Mahdia was never a place like this. Flies all over. Persons believe that if they own a pet, they can lose it to run around all over this place and make persons' life uncomfortable. Well, the APNU will never allow this to happen again after the 1st of September. All those who own animals, they would have to keep them in their homes or in the kennel, who have to prepare somewhere. This place needs to sanitize. I am tired. I am disgusted. Look, this government is just about family, friends, and favorites. We have two strange men came to Mahdia, members of the PPPC. And within a year, they decided to invest the money that they earn, and the money exceeds more than $1 billion here in Mahdia. One gentleman owned a big lumber concession and he carried on. The other one, and the sad thing about it, Mahdia, that when these persons are able to secure these monies, they do not look for Guyanese. For some reason, they believe the foreigners are more better than us. I have my sisters and nieces, some beautiful family and relatives I have. And I'm glad to know that men abusing them in such a way. These men, when they don't have nothing, they know us. And we as poor people, we need to put an end to it. We more than the millionaires. Mahdia alone is 8 Chinese supermarkets. The backside company, they own it. The logging, the mining areas. What would you guys do? What would you guys do? Comrades, what is happening here to us is beyond imaginable. We tired crying, comrades. We tired crying. So we choose to laugh. Let us laugh. We cry a lot already for this year. For the past 5 years, rather, we've been crying. 20-something years the PPP run this country for. And it's one set of people benefiting. When I go through indigenous villages, I am saddened. Construction plastic after 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, to see people still scrambling for some raw materials. And within a year, PPP members, comrades, and others, friends and favorites, within a year, they own billions of dollars. Look, this government, Dr. Barajak, told one of his engineers, you cannot have contract and still be with the government. Well, he chose to have contract and leave his work. This is evident. It is evident. So I will take my leave, Mahdia. I will continue to advocate for the best for us. It's not the best of me here tonight, as I said to you. I'm exhausted. I'm out here since 5:30. So you can expect some more from us in a few. Thank you, Mahdia, for your attendance.
You want real change? What you waiting on? Time for vote clean, vote wise, vote strong. Vote now, vote now, vote. Put it by the palm if you're serious.
Punter. What an extensive conversation he's had with us about the history of his stay in Mahdia and what he has experienced. I myself, I have been in Mahdia for over 25 years. And I think I'm qualified to speak and compare on the development of Mahdia during those years and who, in my assessment, has had programs, transformational programs, over those 20-something years that benefited the Mahdia residents. Over those 20-something years, the APNU coalition government spent 3 years governing this country, managing the affairs of this country, under the then leadership of David Arthur Granger. Prior to that, the PPP government occupied the years, all those years, and I've experienced in Mahdia dusty roads, muddy roads, a lack of water supply, poor electricity service. Those were the kinds of things we were experiencing in Mahdia. Come 2019, in fact, before 2019, road development in Mahdia was a little bit of tar on the road and some sand and laterite thrown on it, and that was considered good road for the residents of Mahdia. It destroyed within months. Come 2019, when the APNU coalition take over government, one of the first things that administration did was to make Mahdia a township. Making Mahdia a township meant that there were certain benefits that would have come to us as a township. I recall the then opposition PPP criticized the move by the APNU administration to make Mahdia a township. They said we weren't ready for it. But after becoming a township, one of the first things with a small budget the Granger administration did was to construct the very road we're standing on here tonight. The road that we're standing on here tonight would last for 100 years without having to be repaired. Mind you, that development came without an oil economy budget. And that was one of the things that he did. He also brought to Mahdia, the administration saw it fit that the police force, each region should have a police commander living in the region so he can more relate to the concerns and the security concerns of that region. And so what they did, they constructed a divisional headquarters for the Guyana police force in this Mahdia. In order to bring other services to Mahdia, one of the first things they did also was to construct the magistrate court, a court that is today now being used to administer justice to persons in Mahdia. So those were the kinds of transformational things that the APNU coalition did within a short time that they managed the affairs of this country. I'm talking specifically for the residents of Mahdia. Why I'm speaking specifically for the residents of Mahdia is because you, as residents, should be thankful and grateful for what was done during those years. Don't forget, it was done without all money, with your interest at heart. And you know what happened after 3 years? There was a no confidence motion, and the administration could not have done or advanced the other projects that they had slated for the development of the residents of Mahdia. There are many other things. The solar farm that is at 7 Mile. Those projects were initiated by the coalition government. They are now completed and we are benefiting. So I'm speaking specifically to you and appealing to you as residents of Mahdia to compare the period of governance between the current administration and what we did within a short period of time. Imagine now in government what the coalition will do for us with the oil wealth that we now enjoying. Set your imagination a little bit. I mean, we're getting development. We're not against development. The roads that are being done, we welcome it. Even though in our assessment, the roads are not of the standard that as the one that you're standing on here today. Roads were built and have to be repaired. Compare, just compare. Works are being done. But the standard of work that is required, we're not getting it. In other words, we're not getting value for money. You need value for money. All right? And I'm telling you that under a coalition government headed by the next president, Aubrey Compton Norton, we will go back to standards. Standards will be re-established. And you will be enjoying a better standard of living here in Mahdia. So I'm appealing to you for your votes. It is not for me personally. It's for all of us. A vote for the APNU is a vote for development of all of us. All of us must benefit. All of us must feel that the resources of this country is used to benefit us and not a few. On the issue of a few, I think it was ventilated quite nicely by the previous speaker. The friends, family, and favorites who have been benefiting. So come September 1st, comrades, in view of what I've just said to you, I'm appealing to you to place your X next to the palm, the top and bottom, for regional and national elections, and vote resoundingly for the APNU. Who are we voting for? We're voting for the palm. We're voting for the palm. We're palming them up. Palming them up. We have in our presence here tonight, comrades, the opposition leader and leader of the APNU coalition, a man who, through his leadership and vision, was able to bring together 7 other parties to form this coalition. A broad coalition. We believe in coalition policies and coalition government. We do not believe in a one-party, one-winner-take-all governance. Hence, the formation of a coalition. And the leadership of that coalition is headed by Aubrey Compton Norton. And he's ably supported by a young lady, a mother, an intellectual, a person who understands governance, an Amerindian native, and I'm happy to see in the audience tonight our Amerindian brothers and sisters who are out here in their numbers. And I know there are many other Amerindian brothers and sisters who are supporters of this coalition government, and we thank you for your support. And we ask that when you return, let them know that we're thanking them for the support. We look forward to their vote on the 1st of September. And so, the prime ministerial candidate that I'm referring to is none other than this young lady behind here, Ms. Jonita Fernandez. My understanding is that she's campaigning all over the regions populated by Amerindian people, taking the message, letting them know there is hope, letting them know that the change is here. I'm telling you, by listening to our message, that the Amerindians in Region 8, Amerindians in Campbelltown, Mycobie, you're all going to be proud and benefit from her being your prime minister. She feels your pain. She knows your struggle. She lived it. And so therefore she can better relate to what you're experiencing. So give your ex and give your support to her. By doing so, you're giving your support to a coalition government that will look after all of us. They also have we also have in the leadership of the coalition, Guy Ishmael Paul, affluent speaker, a guy who can represent, a guy who's not to fear, who's not afraid to give his opinion on issues. Whether it's East Indian issues, African issues, multiracial issues, he's there, he's fair. Give him a chance to be your vice presidential candidate. Give him a chance to represent you. And the only way you can give him that chance is by voting for him come the 1st of September. I'll be voting for him. And I implore upon you to do so. There are many among us here. I know we have many supporters who, for some reason or the other, cannot openly show us their support. But we hear you. We know you. Remember, there's no need for you to flash your X or your vote when you go into the polling station. You don't have to prove anything to anyone who you vote for. Your vote is secret and private. So therefore, exercise your right. Exercise your right fairly. Exercise your right consciously. Exercise your right for the benefit of yourselves and your children and your children's children. That is what I want to see from Mahdia. And the only way that can happen is if you vote consciously. Vote Aubrey Compton Norton as your president. Thank you very much. Okay, our next speaker tonight, like me, a man who has been in Mahdia for years, was experienced, like I do, developmental work done in Mahdia. He's none other than Mr. Trayson Corbin. Welcome to the mic, Trayson.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Good night, everybody. Welcome to the house. Hip, hip, hip. Right. Well, I'm no stranger to Mahdia. I am no stranger to Mahdia. I'm here in Mahdia close to 40 years. I came in Mahdia walking. Now I'm driving. I owe the people of Mahdia gratitude for my position today. I owe the people more than gratitude. And because of that, I'm here tonight. Now I'm here tonight not to condemn. I'm here tonight to fulfill some history of Mahdia. Not to condemn, I'm here to fulfill. Now, not recently, while we had Mr. David Arthur Granger as president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, we could have taken a car and drive to Blackwater and Whitewater. We could have leave Mahdia and go to Bartico by car. Infrastructure work was done under David Arthur Granger. He didn't do it because he's going to benefit from it. He did it because we, the people of Mahdia and the constituency, the region, will be integrated. So we have the free flow from one point to the other. And if the road is good, your passage, your freight, your charter is cheaper. That is concern. If you destroy the road, leave it destroyed, you pay more to get to Blackwater because the cruiser man said the spare is expensive. I would even go further. This Mahdia is the benefit. We benefited Mahdia because of Lyndon Ford Samson Burnham. When Burnham took office, this area had belongs to the British. The British had the dredge, the bucket dredge, and they've been harvesting the gold. It's Burnham who took this place and give it to us. Had it not been for Burnham, we might not have been here today. We would not have been here today. And people must remember, people must not be afraid to call the name of Lyndon Ford Samson Burnham in their mouth. And if we want to go down deep into history, I want to ask any one of you to test me tonight. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is Lyndon Ford Burnham who is responsible for the infrastructure of this country. Lyndon Ford Burnham in Essequibo, he had Reed and Malik doing the drainage and irrigation work. He did the MMA project, Mahika, Maikoni, Abari. It is Burnham. It is Burnham after the PVP bombed the Son Chapman boat that used to transport people from Georgetown to Lillian. It is Burnham who built the Lillian Highway. That is history of this country. It is Burnham who built the West Coast Demerara Highway. It is Burnham who did the infrastructure for the East Coast. He built the multilateral school. He built the University of Guyana. Tell me more, you want to hear more? I got more. He introduced free education. From the time you even have to born, you got free education. Yeah, want to hear more? Bharat and the Scrollies, they all were educated on the Burnham policy. Scholarship was given without selecting who is PNC, who is PVP, who is UF. Most of you may not know there was a party they called United Force. So that is what we call history. If I want to ask you, I want to challenge you tonight. You can sort your soul and tell me which project in this country the PVP is responsible for. I am not condemning the PVP. I am fulfilling history. Let me tell you what the PVP did. They built an estate that Burnham said that Jagdio said going to supply how much sugar that all the guys is going to get sweet. We ain't get sweet yet. Because up to now, the estate failed to perform to capacity level. We can't get sugar. We get the sugar shortage. It is under the PPP that we've been importing sugar from Guatemala. That is history. It is under the PPP that we had extrajudicial killing. It is only the PPP that we had marginalization of black people, of Amerindian people. It is only the PPP that if you are Indian and you support any other of the opposition, you are not part of this country. You are not part of the PPP clique. Now it's a little different. Now they're giving the millions, the billions of dollar contract to their cronies, their friends, their family, their affiliates. What they're doing with us now, they're giving black people the crumbs. And it take me back to history again. That is history again. In the then time, our foreparents, they weren't caught by white people and brought here as slaves. It is black people who bring them here as slaves. It is black people who caught us and sold us to the whites. That is how we are here today. But this is a different type of slavery we're going through. This is what Bob Marley talk about. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, because none of them can stop us this time. Let me tell you something. People like James Bond, I am not condemning him, but he reminds me of those persons who used to call the slaves and sold them to the white people so that we can come here. It's people like him. And I ain't done with history. If I talk about history, I can keep you all your own like y'all might fall asleep on me. But who love history gonna be well alert, because there's much more to our history. It is only the PPP that the bauxite company was taken away from the Guyanese people and given to a foreign entity and put the people of Lillian to struggle. That is history. I am not here as a pork knuckle. I am here now tonight as a historian. I am here as a leader tonight. And I can tell you because I know history. It is boredom. After we were depressed, we were oppressed by the foreigners. After boredom put policy in place for Guyanese people to own and control the resources of this country. The PPP, the foreign entities, the Americans, the British, they sanctioned boredom. We had young people who used to walk the street. Look what boredom did. He said, no, we can't afford for young people to walk the street. I'm going to introduce something for y'all. We're going to pay y'all a big money, but we're going to give you a stipend and we're going to give you a trade. And he introduced national service. That is history. Y'all tell me something what the PPP do that is good. Apart from taking over what the coalition put in place, what Bonham put in place, and propel it and want to take credit for it. Y'all tell me what they do on their own. Tell me something they create on their own. Nothing. Nothing to show. Hey, what they do? Hey, what you know they're good at? They're good at dividing this nation. They're good at coming in your house. They're good at coming in your house and look for the weakest limb. Call them and say, come, I got something for you. That's what they're good at. Come in and destroy homes. Separate families. Using money. They oppress people. Make them look they're redundant. They're useless. And they're going to call them and say, hey, weapon, I'm going to make use of you. Because we need your support. And you're going to go up on the stadium, you're going to go up on the stage, and you're going to stump for me. You're going to walk, we're going to take you and get photo opportunity to show that we're not racist. To show we're not biased. To show we're not oppressing the people. But lo and behold, your own brother, your sister, your auntie, and your uncle, they all being oppressed. So you now becomes part of the favorite. And you don't get $1 billion contract. You get a couple $1 million. That's only the brush down you get in. I can't to poke knocking terms. What y'all getting is the tail end. The tail end of the resource of this country. Let me give you more history. It is on the bottom that the interior, the hinterland community, God bless my grandmother, Adela Fortune, who is an Amerindian, she's an indigenous person, an indigenous woman. She always said Amerindian people are secret sufferers. I used to always wonder why she said so. But under Linda Ford Samson Bottom, he exploited the interior, he went into the location, and he enhanced the life of the Amerindian, the indigenous people. He used to, I remember I was a soldier. I stationed nearly the length and breadth of this country. And I know the Americans could have planted their produce, take it to the airstrip, and wait for the aircraft to come. If the aircraft doesn't come, the fruit or the vegetables spoil the airstrip, but they're going to be paid for it. Y'all want to know about history again? It is Patal Marine, who took 2 young Amerindian women into his home and gave them higher education in Georgetown from the hinterland. That is history. Tell me, when you compare what Patal Marine did to Dharam Lal, what you get? What they give the Amerindian people? They give the Amerindian people Dharam Lal. And it's not Dharam Lal alone. They got more than Dharam Lal. More than Dharam Lal. They got knocked down. And they could go on and on and on. Yeah, I'm fancy people call name. How much they exploit the Amerindian communities for sweetness, for their own benefit, their own well-being. So I'm saying to you tonight, let us be conscious. I tell them out full. I can go on and on and say more and more. This road that we enjoy here today, tonight as I speak here, it is a brainchild of David Arthur Granger and the PPP. They oppose this same project. They say, Mahdia ready for tongue. Because what they think, we only know for hear baboon singing. We mustn't enjoy niceness. We not qualify. We not entitled to niceness. And they continue along the road. I am tracing Ray for Carvin. They know me. All of them know me. When I built the bridge downstairs, many persons came up to me and said, I never know you can build bridge. You're a good builder. You better than down there to me. But it's only one bridge I built. The rest I repair. You know why? Because I am strong APNU. I am strong APNU. It don't mean, like I said to you, I am here to condemn. I am here to fulfill history. I want to bring people up to date. Everybody in Mahdia, regardless of your party, I respect, I love, I show respect, I earn respect. No one in Mahdia can say to you today or tonight, I've ever disrespected them. And I can say safely that in return, I get that respect. When the policeman they killed the man in Camelton, me single-handedly, Otis, I can remember his name. Otis from Let Them. I was the man who campaigned. I was the person in the forefront taking signature for justice for Otis. It is me. Same man standing here tonight. I don't watch favor. Anybody could call me. anybody regardless of your political affiliation. I am here to serve you, the people of Mahdia. I'm not here to serve party. I'm here to serve you, the people. And for me to serve you to the best of my ability, for me to serve you with the tools available, you have to go there and vote the PPP out. When we do that, I'll be able to satisfy me, satisfy my plan, my vision. Somebody will be there to listen to me. Now we have three wonderful persons. Three wonderful persons at the helm. We have our prime minister, our presidential candidate. As a matter of fact, I should start from the prime ministerial candidate, who is an indigenous woman. She's here. And I'm sure she would be more than willing to serve you, the people of Mahdia. So, without going much further into history, I'm going to say to you, I've said my part. I've done my part. I stood up here bravely and educate you about some of the history that you might have forgotten or you may not know. And I'm happy that I was given the opportunity to do this. I can speak to you one-on-one on history of the country and the history of Mahdia. Without further, I'm going to hand you back to the MC, and I trust that come the 1st of September, you remember I am pleading to you to go out there and vote APNU. Go out there and give us your vote. I want to say thank you for listening to me. Thank you for your attention. Thank you. Thank you very much.
But all them do is give you pressure back. You take little thing, then you're stuck in line while them raise them glass and sip them wine. But real youth right.
And we warm up. We have one more speaker before we have the main speaker on the stand to address you. So I'm going to call to the podium the chairman of the Mahdia PNCR group. He's none other than Mr. Timothy Duna. Timothy, give him a round of applause, please.
Mahdia. Good night, Mahdia. Guyanese. Across the country, good night. Okay, it's a pleasure being here tonight. I just need to share a few words with you, and I need it to sink in. And for you to do the right thing on the 1st of September. Let me start with this. Development. Look into yourself. Who brought development to Mahdia? The APNU AFC coalition. These roads, the APNU coalition. Without roads, we were nowhere. Please remember that we're going to go Princeville, we're going to go Pamela, we're going to go Norfolk, only with pickup and tractor. Due to the vision of the coalition, we established all the roads, rehabilitated all the roads. Now we could drive from Mahdia to Bartico. We were in box by the PPP. And I need to say this. I need to remind the taxi drivers, remember, if these roads wasn't here, you're going to be doing economical business as you're doing now. When it comes to education, we develop this region. Grades rise. Under the PPP, a few months ago, I had asked Paulie Sukai how she feel about the results of the children at the CXC and CXC. She just claimed that they're spending money, but nothing in return is coming. Now, water. Under the PPP, we as residents in Mahdia Campbelltown struggle for water. If you could remember, they had a family in Campbelltown who used to control the RDC, all the machinery was in the yard, control all the contracts for water and out of storage for water. The people over the creek could testify under the APNU, AFC administration, all the trucks in the creek turn bush because what? We provide potable water for them. Please remember the good things that the coalition did for you. Health-wise, upgrade of the Mahdia Hospital, upgrade of all health agencies across the region. It was done, started by the APNU, AFC coalition. People don't have a short memory. The solar farm is a brainchild of the APNU coalition. Under the coalition, we promise when the solar farm is in order, we will be cutting the electricity bill by 50%. The PPP take on the challenge, completed it, and we still pay the full light bill. I was made to understand the president promised at 2 months 30% deduction from electricity bills. This is not part of it. We offer 50% cut. It hasn't happened as yet. The solar farm working, linking with MPL power plant, and nothing's happened. Remember the goodness and the development that was brought by the APNU AFC coalition. Just go out and vote on the 1st of September for the PAM. Please don't forget, don't be ungrateful to the coalition. Remember, we brought development to Mahdia. We had red road, red dust, kicking. All these businesses want to be like this open tonight because red dust. So please remember the good things we have done for you. Stay supporting APNU. Vote for the PAM on the 1st of September. Thank you.
Start with a vote and a vision, man. Don't sell out, own your voice. This election, make the right choice. Youth man, take note. This not no joke. No party hat, no rum and smoke. This one serious time for vote. Your future calling, don't miss that vote. Vote no, vote no, vote. Put it by the palm if you're serious, vote your life. Vote no, vote no, vote. Up to the permission and take your future.
And now for the moment you've been waiting on. Our main speaker, leader of the coalition, Mr. Aubrey Compton Norton. Give him a big round of applause as he approaches the stage.
Good evening, Mahdia. Good evening, Mahdia. I want to hear you. I come to you this evening in the name of the political party that did the most for Mahdia in the shortest time, a Partnership for National Unity Coalition. People can say what they want to say, but there are certain things they cannot contest. Prior to us coming to government, little was done in the hinterland. And I'm saying to you that we are going to do a lot for the hinterland. Our aim is to reduce the gap and the difference between the coast and the hinterland. We believe that Guyana would be better off if we can open the hinterland. And that is why we say we're going to be building inter-regional highways to link the 10 regions. What that means is that new lands will be opened for development. What that means, it will become cheaper for you to do business because there is the road link to do it. What that means is a better life for you. Don't want people coming telling you to build a house here for somebody and to build a house here, when the money that built the house was really your money. If people pay the taxes, you will develop. If they don't pay the taxes, you're in trouble. So when they defraud this country and then turn around when they're under pressure to come to you saying they will deliver to poor people, you know that doesn't make sense. We are saying to you, Guyana's problem is the lack of proper leadership. This country has the resources to ensure each and every Guyanese can live a comfortable life. And we saying to you this, that our plans will benefit the people of Guyana. We made it very clear that any Guyanese 18 years and above who does not own a property and who is working for less than 400,000, the APNU coalition government will give them a free house lot. We believe there is enough land in this country for people to get benefit and develop. There's no need for everyone to be cramped in Mahdia. We can expand on both sides and develop modern facilities. We're saying to you that as a government, we will put you, the people, first. We're not coming to you telling you that, oh, I help poor people, and so if I help poor people, I am going to put money in their hands. It doesn't follow like that. Greedy business people, the more they get, the more they want. We are saying to you, we have the policies and the programs to ensure you develop. We have made it clear that we are going to build houses for Guyanese. They will pay a rent, and when they cover the cost of the house will become theirs. That is our rent-to-own policy. We're saying to you that housing is critical and that we're going to put resources into housing so that the people of Guyana can benefit. Our whole purpose is to put money in your pocket. And this is not idle talk. Any Guyanese who is serious and paid attention to us in government between 2015 and 2020 will recognize that Guyanese got the most wage increases between 2015 and 2020 when we gave them 77% increase without oil money. Remember, all that we did was without oil money. This government is giving the oil money to their family, their friends, and their favorites. We are saying to you, we are going to put that oil money in your pockets. How are we going to do it? Our senior citizens can look forward to $100,000 per month pension. We believe that our senior citizens served us, and therefore we should look after them. And that is why we will not only increase their pension, but in every region we will seek to build modern homes for senior citizens. We are also saying to you that education is critical. Education is important. And we're saying this to you. We will give every school child $120,000 per year. 60 in January, 60,000 in January, and 60,000 in July. And we are giving this money because we believe our children should be in school and be educated. The easiest way legally out of poverty is through education. And so we intend to finance your children's education. Let me remind you, without oil wealth, we gave to the Guyanese people buses to go to school, boats to go to school, bicycles, among other things. We're saying to you, the next APNU government will ensure that there is a national schools transportation system so our children can go to school. Don't worry with them who come in and tell you they can take you out of poverty. Ask them the programs they have. They lack foresight. They even produced a manifesto and they stole information from us. And because they didn't even pay careful attention, they put in the manifesto what the APNU will do when they wanted to put their name. They didn't even know what to copy, how they can run a country. We're saying to you, we will ensure that every child in this country at school gets 2 hot meals per day. The importance of that is that parents wouldn't have to spend money on that. And so, if they don't have to spend money on that during the week, it means their income will increase. So when we deliver a service like that to you, we are ensuring you keep money in your pocket. We are very clear. We want to see our children after secondary school be able to develop. And we will place in communities like Mahdia technical and vocational training centers. So those who are not academic can learn trades, etc., so that they can live a productive and decent life. People come telling you about handouts. Handouts don't take you out of poverty. They make you dependent. They make people can control you. In some regard, they're just like the PPP. They don't want programs to make you independent because they believe when you are independent, they can't control you. We don't want to control you. We want to empower you. We want to empower every citizen in this country. We want to see young people and people generally who can live a decent life. We should not have the kind of money we have and people have to rely on handouts. We're not into the handout culture. We're into the culture of empowering people so that they can live a decent and productive life. Mahdia, we said, and we placed in our manifesto, that we are removing the customs excise and all them duties on the 4-door, 4x4 pickup. If you try to buy one of those now, you can't afford it. What we are saying to you is that on those pickups, you will pay 15% of the price and you can own it. When we bring down the price of a 4x4 four-door pickup, we are helping the mining community. We are helping people. There's a certain versatility about the vehicle. You can use it for business and you can use it in your private life. And we said to you, we will make that vehicle affordable to you so that you can purchase it and use it effectively. We are not here gaffing. We're telling you about genuine programs to develop people. We have seen in this country that 16,000 children will do the grade 6 or the common entrance exams. And at the time, by the time they arrive at CXC, only about 5,000 will pass with math and English. Pass 5 subjects with math and English. And in the hinterland, it's worse. We're saying to you, we will improve the quality of education in the hinterland. And we are also saying to you, we recognize about 10,000 children fall out of school every year. Our intention is to establish night schools in communities so those children who have potential can go back to school and realize their ambitions. Nobody in this world is dunce. You don't born bright or dunce. You're born with a brain. And if you get the right nutrition and if you get the right environment, you will develop. And what we are saying to you is that we are going to provide the right environment for you to develop. Why is it contractors have got to come from the coast to do major programs in the hinterland? It is unacceptable. We're saying this to you. We want quality roads. We want PPP roads. Now you see me, now you don't. And what will we do? The Constitution provides for 25% of contracts to go to small contractors. We're saying to you, we're going to come to your community, we're going to train contractors, and they will get contracts. Contracts have to stop being just for family, friends, and favorites. Contracts under the APNU coalition will go to the people that are most competent and capable, and we intend to train you to become competent contractors and benefit from the resources of Guyana. That is what is required. Why do we want to see people coming from the coast to the hinterland to do work? Every time that happens, it deprives people, it deprives people in the hinterland of the opportunity to empower themselves. We want to empower people. And that is why we say we will have a national sustainable agriculture program for the entire country, but they will also be for every region. We want to see an end to Bora, pumpkin, okra coming from the coast. We have too much land to be bringing into regions foodstuff from the coast. We're saying this to you. We will engage young people in modern agriculture, aquaponics, not the old-time hard work. In this modern world, we can set up in villages these agricultural operations and allow the people in the region to generate wealth through agricultural production. There is no reason why any region in this country should be importing agricultural products from outside. We are well aware that we will have to get refrigerated storage capacity, because once you produce over a certain amount, there wouldn't be market. But then we can become involved in agro-processing, processing the agricultural products for export. And so we must not be carried away by oil wealth. Oil wealth must be used to develop other sectors of the economy and the people. Oil will finish, the people will not. They will continue generation into generation. And so our intention is to take the oil wealth and invest it in agriculture, manufacturing in every region, so that those regions can develop their economic capacity. Oil is not going to last forever. And so we intend to do two things as it relates to oil. One is to invest in other areas of economic development so that the people benefit. We also intend to cut out this ignorance that the government is doing. They are taking all the oil money and putting it into infrastructure. And they are not doing proper infrastructure. Our approach will be 75% of the money that comes from oil will be utilized for the development of the people and for the development of new industries so you can benefit. The other 25% will be in the natural resource fund, earning some interest and ensuring that when oil prices are down, we have reserves. Ensuring that when the oil is finished, we have wealth for generations to come. It is out of place for us to spend out all that we have now and not cater for future generations. The PPP is so greedy that they do not care what happens after they would have gone. It is the most corrupt regime in the history of this country. While they run around giving you a 2 million or a 10 million contract, every time their families, their friends, and their favorites get a contract, it is over 200 million. We have got to ensure that the people of this country share in the wealth and share equitably. I want to say this to the indigenous community. I want to say this to the indigenous community. Our plan is to ensure we develop business people in those communities. We cannot continue a situation where there is not developed a business group in every ethnic group. Because when that happens, the group becomes dependent on those who have. We will do training of our indigenous people so that they know about financial literacy, they know to run a small business and ensure that there is economic development in indigenous communities. That is what our focus has to be. Not to continue to bring a black tank. While they're bringing a black tank for you, they built 2 housing schemes, Pradoville 1 and Pradoville 2. The first one, before they move in, it had light, water, road. They're happy with that. They built a second one, and Jack Dio could say we want. What I'm saying is true. He's a political bandit. Having done that, you say to Guyanese, you cannot sell a land given to you by the government before 10 years expire. He got another one before 10 years. We are saying this kind of behavior must end. We need a government that is honest. And I want to say this to you. I have spent 50 years in politics and public life. And I dare Jackie or anyone to identify one time I was involved in corruption. I have never been. I have always said to people, one of the worst enemies of poor people is corruption. Every time corrupt people take money out of our treasury, they reduce the money that is there to invest in you. Every time they fail to pay the taxes and they accumulate the wealth from the taxes, you know what they're doing? They are keeping you in poverty. You can't win with that. That's a false win. You could only win with policies that will ensure you develop. Just saying we need a change doesn't make sense. You can change from bad to worse. Thief man in government, thief man out of government is still thief man. Robber man in government, robber man out of government is still robber man. Why would you want somebody who stole your money and then come back and tell you we can get and take you out of poverty? It's like saying, hey, I stick you up at gunpoint. I take away your money and then I come back and say, it's a nice buy. I build a house here, I build a house there, and I can take you out of poverty. Don't be fooled. People come out of poverty when there are proper policies and programs to take them out of poverty. And our intention is to take people out of poverty. We have said that every Guyanese will have an electricity subsidy of $10,000. What that means for those who have electricity and pay a company is that if your bill is 10,000 and under, you will pay no electricity. If it is over, you pay the difference. We're also saying to you that we will give you a $5,000 water subsidy. So if you are using $5,000 and less, you will not pay. But if you're using 5,000 and above, you will pay the difference. That is going to keep money in your pocket. That is going to help to bring down your cost of living. The cost of living in Guyana is too high. The cost of living is killing. And we're saying to you, our policies, our programs, our agricultural drive will help you bring down the cost of living. I don't want to come here and offer you free money and pay you to vote. I'm very clear. People who come to our meeting must come because they want to, and they want to hear our policies. And we believe when they hear our policies, they will support us. And so I want to urge you after this meeting to spread the message. Let blue become few. Let green dominate the scene. We need proper government. When you look at the teams, the slates in this campaign, the only team that has a competent group that isn't corrupt is the APNU. And that is why I urge you to vote for the APNU, because it is the best team on show. When you see our manifesto, you will see the programs and projects that can take you out of poverty. Our sole purpose is to take people out of poverty. And that is why we say that the funds from the carbon credit, all of it will not be given to PPP control 2 shows for them to waste. we have made it clear that we're going to give 50% to the indigenous people themselves. Why is it some Tushao must spend your money? Tushao must give leadership. We have no problem with that. But the actual funds should go to the indigenous people 18 years and over. And I said to you, we guarantee you that. In these elections, you are going to be voting for the first indigenous prime minister in the history of this country. And I said this to you about Jaretta Finance. She is a humble person. She is well qualified and capable of giving leadership. And I believe the Ministry of Indigenous Affairs under Jaretta Finance will deliver to the indigenous people in this country. She is not an indigenous person who don't know the reality. She spent the last 4 weeks on the ground with our indigenous people. She's aware of the problems. We regret she couldn't be here this evening, but I said to you, you have a competent leader in Jaretta Finance. Let the PPP put any of the persons they identify as an indigenous minister. They can't match her. Pauline Sukai spend more money on her teeth than the people. Carlin Rodriguez disappeared. You name it. And so we're saying to you, we're going to put a prime minister there that is going to serve you, the people of Guyana and the indigenous people in this country. You know, a country cannot develop without small businesses. The big ones are fine. But we intend to give support to all communities for the creation of small business. Small businesses help development. And so you can look forward to grants and soft loans to develop small businesses, because we believe small businesses are important. But I want to tell you something. One of the things we want to see is respect for indigenous people. I believe the PPP is contemptuous of indigenous people. I believe the PPP is contemptuous of all people except themselves, their families, their friends, and their favorites. And I want to say this to Mahdia. The APNU will set up what is called a restitution committee. And that committee will be aimed at inviting people who were done wrong by this government to make their case. And once the case is established, they will be compensated. And I can say to those families from the Mahdia fire that you will be properly compensated for what happened there. And there will also be a proper investigation. I hate to use the word compensate, because you can't compensate for people's lives. But what we can do is to ensure that there are resources delivered so that you could move on with your life. Guyana doesn't belong to the PPP. Guyana belongs to the people of Guyana. And I want to say this again to the indigenous community. You will not be bullied. You will not be forced. You will be able to elect who you want as Tushao. This practice of the government coming to say who must be the Tushao, we will cut it out. Democracy is not about a couple zombies in Georgetown directing what happened here. It is about the people themselves. electing people who they believe can serve them. And when they're dissatisfied with them, they must be able to move them. I turn to the 10-day workers. My friends, the PPP will try to tell you that we will get rid of the 10-day workers. It isn't true. We're going to increase 10-day workers' money. We believe we can carry it as far as 100,000 per month. But there are certain things that will happen and certain things that will not happen. The 10-day workers, we will continue to pay them, but we want to ensure that they get skills. We want to train them so they have skills to get permanent jobs. If you live your life as a 10-day worker, by the time your life is over, you have no pension under the NIS. We want to see people being able to get their benefits. So in these elections, we are fighting for freedom. I meet many people who frightened to come out here because the government threatens them. We must end that. People must be free to do what they want once it is within the law. We are saying to you, when you vote on September 1, you are voting to return your freedom. You are voting to ensure that as a public servant, no one makes their eyes past you. And so see these elections as critical and returning your freedom. You know, this government is the most ridiculous government I have ever met. Put up all around on the coast, how they deliver a promise, return free education at the university. The truth is, free education at university existed since 1976. It's this wicked, destructive, demonic PPP government that took it away in 1994. Now when you bring it back, you didn't deliver a promise. You are rectifying a wrong you did to people by taking away free education from them. And so our intention is to give you proper leadership. We have developed a manifesto that covers every sector so that in coming to government from day one, we can begin the development of this country. We must not be fooled by the People's Progressive Party. They said the last budget was $1.4 trillion. The average man, but he knows trillion. It's plenty million. We have a budget of 1.47 trillion. And then they take another set of millions. So by now, it is far above the 1.47 trillion. It's like 2,000 trillion. Do you feel that impact from that budget? Do any one of you feel, like you live in a country in which billions of dollars are being made in oil? You cannot. The problem with this government is that it is corrupt. They thief everything they put their eyes on. I have never met a government in which, when they came to government in 2015, all the new ministers had no money, no wealth. They are all leaving as billionaires. That is because they rob us. They rob the people of Guyana. It is time for us to end the robbery. You know, we go on when we hear somebody get robbed, and we should. We go on when we hear somebody get stick up at gunpoint, and we should. But we stay quiet when they put an unseen gun at our head and carry away billions of dollars. I am not supporting thief man, but there are times when thief man affect an individual. When government rob you, they affect an entire country. And so, a government led by us will treat a crime as a crime. A government led by us will ensure those who do the crime spend the time. A government controlled by us will ensure that we're not embarrassed when a journalist come and ask me about Sue, and we go for the Sue, who Sue. It was so obvious that he knew the link, that there was corruption. We have to end corruption in this country. We have to reduce the cost of living. We have to get people out of poverty. And that cannot be done by the PPP. And that is why we say, if Guyana is to grow, the PPP must go. Guyana stands no chance under the PPP. They are so corrupt that we stand no chance. We have a president who started by corruption. He claimed to have a degree from a university that doesn't exist. He's the only leader I know in a long time. When they ask you to produce his certificate from the University of Haifa, you can't find his certificate, nor the university, because none of them exist. But you see, you laugh. But if you could be dishonest about simple things like that, imagine what you will do with the resources of this country. And we know that he isn't qualified. I always say to people, if you want to know if he qualified, ask him to say reparation. He got to the United Nations and they're repairing everything, repair. We need in this country people who could represent us and make us feel proud. I say to you, the people in this government lack the intellectual capacity to represent us. Why do you believe Venezuela is get out of hand? For years, we kept Venezuela at bay using diplomacy. This government has destroyed the foreign service, and the people they put to represent us can't represent themselves, much less us. We're saying to you, you live in a strategic region. When it comes to the Ghana-Venezuela territorial controversy, I want to say this to you. The territory belongs to us. There is no doubt about that. The arbitral award of 1899 delivered it to us. But I want to say this. As a government, we will have plans to ensure that we can expand and occupy Essequibo, all parts. Because when there is that vacancy, when people are not seen, it encourages their greed. So as part of our strategy, we will seek to people the Essequibo as much as possible. We believe the territory belongs to us and we will defend it. There was a time when the Guyana Defense Force had the capacity to defend us. Now you got puku gangmen coming attacking our people. We say to you, we will rebuild the Guyana Defense Force. We will give them the technology and we will prepare them to defend you in the hinterland. Because every time there is an incursion and the abducting of our people, it sends the wrong signal. And so we believe defense is important. Even as though we put resources in you, the people hand, we want to ensure that we can defend our territory. And so we will expend on that. And I said to you, the minute we hit government, there will be a new supplementary budget. So a lot of the things we are talking about in terms of delivering resources, you will be able to get. We have said that we want to give you a quality life, and we intend to give you a quality life. But how are you going to get that quality life? You have to come out September 1st and put your X next to the palm. There is one last thing I want to say to you. There is no one Guyana. It's one set of people benefiting from Guyana. The only one Guyana they talk about is one set of people benefiting from Guyana. We want to reassure you that we will live up to our motto: one people, one nation, with one destiny. We are saying to every Guyanese, you have no need to fear. Every Guyanese will have his or her share, because the wealth in this country belongs to the people of Guyana. We will end the PPP discrimination and return to a Guyana where all Guyanese believe they are treated fairly and that Guyana is their own. I said one, but I must put in one more before I go. The Guyana Police Force. We are going to completely overhaul the Guyana Police Force. It is unacceptable for the police to be used to protect the rich against the poor. All the complaints we get across this country is that there are some policemen, not all, they are decent policemen, but they got a good bit of indecent one starting from the top. We will change them, because the purpose of the police is to enforce law and order. The purpose of the police is to treat each one equally. The purpose of the police is when they hear about the crime, they come and investigate and take action, not investigate. And when they recognize the crime is committed by PPP bigwigs, they disappear. All Guyanese must be treated equally. The police force under the present leadership has failed Guyana. They serve money, they don't serve you, the people. We are saying to you, we will ensure that they serve the people of Guyana. That is the purpose of the police. So I want to urge you to come out early on September 1st. Put your palm next to your X next to the palm. When you vote for the APNU, you are voting for a brighter future for your children. When you vote for the APNU, you are voting for a better Guyana. When you vote for the APNU, you are voting for a united Guyana. Guyana cannot progress if it is an ethnically divided society. And we will continue what David Granger was doing, seeking to bring all the ethnic groups together in this country. I want to say to you, Mahdia, and to Region 8, your best choice is the APNU. We have delivered during the time we were in government, and we will continue to deliver. So we said to you, come out September 1st, put your X next to the palm, vote for the APNU, and let Guyana grow when we let the PPP go. Have a good evening, and thank you very much.
Permission, I take your future right. Don't let it you say